threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Oh, buddy.
Just digging around in the battle box.
Just touching some battle box stuff.
Yep.
Nice. Hey, Cam, I don't know if you know this, but today is our 200th regular episode.
That's insane.
200.
No one ever thought we'd make this far.
No. And then if you add in all the mindless banners and all of the 5 questions, man,
6,000.
We got so many. It's insane. But it's just kind of a momentous occasion.
We got like another 200 basically of those, right? So
something like that.
Sheesh.
I don't know. But I just thought that's kind of interesting. So today we're going to have a little bit of a special episode, right? Mm-hmm. What are we doing today?
We're going to talk about 200 things you can do. No.
200 ways to clean your butt.
200 ways to start a fire.
Yeah, 200 ways. Oh, gosh, that'd be the most boring podcast. 200 ways to purify water.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one that that's the one that would do it for
200
me.
ways to save money in the apocalypse.
200 ways to clean a gun.
200 ways to fit more 5.56 in your truck.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Oh, shit, I gotta
get my notepad.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, no, we wanted to go over something that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is really why we prep. Mm-hmm. This is your personal apocalypse 2.0.
That's right.
Because like a lot of times when people ask, like, why do we do this? Why? I mean, really, this is the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you even put out a post this week about, like, what got you into prepping. And a lot of it has to do with personal events, right?
Yeah.
Almost all of it. So
absolutely. And this is 2.0 because we did this episode.
Because it's the second one.
9,000 years ago. I don't even know how long it was, but it's been a long time. So we thought, hey, it's a great time to kind of bring that up again and talk about it because it's very casual preppers. This is what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
We like to talk about the crazy stuff.
But this is the real stuff.
Yeah. You know what else is real? Freaking Battle Box.
It is right there.
The monthly subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, Battle Box sends you the coolest selection of hand-picked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month. The Solo Stove Titan Camp Stove. Those Solo Stoves are fantastic, dude. And then the Überleben Tindar Teepee 3-pack. Pretty cool.
We'll go over that later.
All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes, and they won Best Subscription Box of 2020. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at battlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first battle box plus a free knife. That knife will not cost you a dime. Yeah, go to battlebox.com/casualpreppers.
Listener reviews starts now.
I love who did this one.
Yeah, that's great.
Best podcast ever. You guys kill it every episode. I do a lot of traveling for my job, and so I'm always listening to current or older episodes. You guys make prepping fun while serious at the same time. Kind of.
Yeah.
Also, gotta love how you poke fun at everybody's names. All I can say is nicely done, guys. That's a good one.
I like that.
Keep up the great work and watch out for those evil
lynches. That's from
Jesse. Nice.
Nicely via Apple Podcast.
That's one of my favorite ones to make fun of.
I really still think
we don't make fun of it. We just add it to the podcast. It's like part of it.
One day we're going to do an entire episode where you guys just submit your name.
Yes.
We're going to go for like an entire hour and make fun of everybody.
I wonder how many people are going to create like their own account, like 17 new accounts.
Butthole Surfer 105. You know, like
they're going to ding dad's funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, leave us a 5-star review, and make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
Cam, the world is mad, and it's mad real close to us.
Oh.
Do you remember this? A very big team effort. Crews recount rescuing hundreds of drivers stranded amid winter storm. As a weekend snowstorm blew into Utah, hundreds of drivers became stranded on a highway near Strawberry Reservoir in Wasatch County.
We have to always use that.
This is the road that we drive probably once a month.
Yeah.
Right? It heads down to
It
Salt
is
Lake.
like the wind coming off that
worst.
lake. It's terrible.
It's the worst spot in the state, I swear.
It really is.
To drive.
I don't know. Sardine and Brigham
Oh,
is
yeah.
pretty bad
Sardine's
too.
pretty bad. I've been through some nasty storms there, too. But heavy snow and
that one
strong
was bad.
winds created whiteout conditions Friday night. And this was this last Friday on SR 40 near the reservoir, which is located about 76 miles southeast of Salt Lake City. Amid the treacherous conditions, rescue crews worked to get motorists and one stranded fisherman to safety. I couldn't even see the hood of my car driving through that area, said Alex Hagen, a trooper with Highway Patrol. Officials say 270 vehicles were stranded along a section of the highway. Some had slid off the road while others had collided with other
That's
vehicles.
insane. I had no idea all this was happening.
So nuts.
And that sounds about right. Utah,
It
people are
does.
just driving around.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're doing it for work. They're driving around all the time.
So they had to send search and rescue out all night long to get these people to safety, which is crazy, right? It says the
Vehicle
rescue
prep,
crews,
man.
from several agencies went car to car, making sure people were inside were okay. The effort took around 10 hours as the snow kept coming down into the early morning hours. So they were like taking people from there and they were taking them to another spot to keep them warm and safe. And social media was just like exploding in like our
The guy's like,
local-
you want some fish?
I caught some trout.
Thank goodness I'm here.
You need a Book of Mormon?
I don't know why I'm from the 30s.
I don't know. Yeah, get one for yourself. Yeah,
Can you go
but
get us 2 more trout? We're going to save this family.
the sheriff opens up the door. You need some trout?
Where's that fisherman?
Already smells fishy in here. But no, like social media was exploding. Like all like the local Facebook groups are like, hey, my husband's stuck. Oh, my daughter's there with the family. And it's like, please help them. It's like, this is like such an eye-opening event. We're going to talk about this a little bit again later, but this is exactly the reason why you prep. This is exactly the reason why you have car preps, because this happens and it's real. And again, it happened real close to home. So I thought it was just a good reminder that this
There was a
thing-
little, did you see I did see there was a little like bogus like kind of thing about polar bears. Did you see
I did
that?
see that. Yeah, yeah.
He's like, there are polar bears up here. That's why they closed everything.
Yeah. No, it's just freaking cold and
Can't
snowy.
happen.
Can't happen.
Can't happen.
Can't happen.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was that bad.
It was super
So-
bad.
They still there?
Yeah, there's still 4 or 5 people there trying to find some fish.
I'm gonna have to drive through it this weekend. So
I
that's
know,
great.
yep. Exactly.
This one's not as prepper related, but
Okay.
this just tells you how crazy the world is.
Yeah, sure.
Stray dog lands itself in the doghouse after causing an estimated $350,000 in damage to cars at Houston dealership.
350,000?
So a pair of strays have landed in the doghouse after being caught on video, causing more than $250,000 worth of damage at a Houston car dealership. These are dogs, you know? It's like, what are they doing to a car? One dog, described as a bull terrier mix, have you seen those? Those are the little flat, weird-looking dogs. Was captured in early December. The second, whose breed's not immediately known. Who knows?
We don't know he's a mutt.
Both dogs are being held at the Houston Animal Control Center. The dogs were captured on surveillance video, scratching the paint and tearing the bumpers off vehicles. What kind of dogs are these?
They stuffing fish in those bumpers or something? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just
they're
like,
drug dogs.
how are these freaking dogs like tearing things up?
Wow. That's something you don't expect.
No, we have never seen something like this. Dogs attacking cars and causing damage. A man who
You
answered,
run over my cousin. I'm going to eat you.
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, man.
And then
That's what the dog sounds like, by the way. You
take a
run
bite
over-
out of crime.
You run over my cousin. That's what the mutt sounds like.
Yeah.
The bull terrier's like, yeah, you run over his cousin.
One of them's Todd, like
Todd?
Fox and the Hound.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But an Italian village made headlines last month after police determined that a dog with gum disease was responsible for slashing tires
Why do they have to tell me I had gum disease?
in several parked cars. So you got dogs pulling
my
bumpers
God.
off, scratching paint, and gum disease shredding tires in Italy.
Pretty sure that dog's got diabetes.
I don't know. It's a mad world to me.
Like, why is gum disease?
I know.
pertinent
That
to the
last
story?
part, when I read, I was like, what? It's like, my gums. It's like tearing into tires.
There's a dog that had dandruff that he was biting all the tires.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
know.
maybe he had gum disease, so he's biting the tires.
That's what they're saying.
Make it feel good.
He's a biting the tires.
Oh no, he's a dog.
He's a shredding the tires.
Oh, this is bad. Yeah, that'll make your wife
man.
happy. We did the Italian.
She likes the
accent.
Italian.
Yeah.
What's the dog doing? He's a biting the tires.
Luigi, we need to figure this out.
We cannot deliver it. Easy by the tires.
What's so wrong with his gums?
He's got the gum disease. Anyways, that's a Mad World when dogs are shredding cars to pieces.
I don't know what to do.
So
World's
crazy.
going to hell in a
Do you
handbasket.
remember the Hulk that had? It was like, it wasn't Edward Norton. It was what's his name?
The other guy from the Marvel movies.
No, he's not in the Marvel movies. He was in Troy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Bana?
Eric Bana.
Yeah.
But they had those dogs. Do you remember that one?
No, I
The
didn't.
dogs were
I don't
all
think I
like,
saw any
they're all
of the
roided
Hulks.
out. They looked like the Hulk. I'm like, that's the type of dogs that are shredding.
I don't think I
tires.
watched any Hulk movie ever.
I actually liked that one.
Did you?
And then that was before the big surge of all the stupid
Was it?
superhero
Okay.
movies. So
Yeah.
it's starting.
Well, doggone it. Let's talk about your personal apocalypse 2.0.
Yeah. So like we were saying at the start, it's like we do a lot of prepping and talk about the exciting events. You know, it's cool to talk about asteroid strikes and alien abductions and all that cool stuff.
Because it's fun.
It's way fun.
Super fun.
It's like, man,
entertaining.
Could I prepare for that and survive that?
Dog apocalypses.
Gum disease dogs.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do all that because it's fun. It's a little more entertaining. It kind of puts a little spice into prepping because it can be rather boring.
Yeah.
But in reality, life, like the daily things that we do are more risky than all of this. Like they're most likely to cause disruption in our lives.
Yeah, like the Yellowstone supervolcano most likely will never have to worry
And
about.
if it does, I'm not going to worry about it.
Just
We're
breathe
dead
in those
anyway.
ashes. It's just suck in a big old breath of ash.
First minute,
Yeah. I'm done.
I'm out.
Ash prep.
Yeah, that's
It's like
ash
last
prep.
line of defense, right? Yeah.
But yeah, so like it is the thing that we always come back to. Like you're doing all this prepping. Maybe you're doing it because you're like zombie apocalypse would be cool and I want to survive it. But in reality, like the prepping is going to apply to the most likely scenarios that are going to affect your life that we're going to talk about, like job loss and car accidents and dogs.
And I think it's good to just understand that and to think about it from time to time, because if you're always focused on like the crazy events, like World War III is coming, I swear to you, it's going to happen, right? Like, and okay, like maybe that could, but if
it gets too customized into one, you're like, come on, like.
If you're thinking about these things, this was actually going to be the most helpful for you, in preparedness for your life, right?
Because you're going to encounter one of these once or twice in your life or more.
Yeah, and
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And again, this is episode number 200. And so we wanted to do something that this is something we've talked about
This
so
is why
much.
the podcast really does. I mean,
Exactly.
why it's here.
Over the last, it's been like almost 8 years, Cam.
That's insane.
Almost 8 years that we've been doing this.
You ain't nothing bad's happening.
But yeah, it's just like this is a theme that is kind of recurring. So we figured, number 200, a big one. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about probably one of the most likely things that you've either had happen or, that could happen to anybody, no matter what position they're in, job loss or financial hardship.
Yeah.
And that can come from so many different things. The world's changing a lot. We went through COVID and like the economy still sucks. Inflation.
I hate the economy.
I do too.
I don't like it.
I do. And so it's made things a lot more difficult. And as we progress into the future with AI and all that, like a lot of jobs become less and less important.
For sure.
Companies are always cutting people because they're like, well, I can replace you with a robot or one person to do 5 jobs. So this is a huge risk for everybody. For example, in the U.S., the economy lost 22 million jobs from February to April of 2020. That's crazy.
22 million.
22
that
million
affected
jobs.
Somebody you know.
So that was
probably.
Yeah, and COVID, all that big mess, and we're still recovering.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever will, but like just that many jobs in that short of time. That blows me away.
That's bullcrap.
That
didn't
crap.
happen.
Freaking Democrats.
Fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Fake.
By August, jobs had rebounded to 11 million,
Yeah.
Below February's peak. The recovery had then slowed, and then November 2020, there were still 10 million fewer jobs than February. So still not as much work available. So when you lose your job, there's a lot of things that come along with that can stress you out big time.
Oh, yeah. Shame.
Shame.
Mostly.
I think that's honestly, so working I was in family medicine at that time. I saw more people for mental health problems during that than I did like COVID sickness related. Because it was like they'd either lost their job, they weren't making what they, everything just sucked. Couldn't travel,
Nothing was good.
So it was just not only like from job loss, stuff like that. A lot of it was, but and there was a lot of mental health. There's a lot of depression, but mental health was the biggest thing I was seeing still. But here are some of the average monthly grocery costs on a household. For my house, $4.5 million.
Yeah, I've gotten 3 small business loans to pay for groceries in the last month.
It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive now. But a 2-person household, and I'm not sure exactly the dates of these, 2023, I honestly think it's worse than this. 2-person household, $510 to $820 a month.
My gosh.
With an average of about $655. Family of 3, $902. Family of 4, $973. Family of 5, close to $1,500.
I can confirm that that's pretty accurate. Like, it's crazy how much it started to hurt.
Yeah.
The groceries.
I
never really thought about it.
Same here.
Right?
Same here.
Like, it had never been a thing like, oh, man, groceries. I'd be like, oh, yeah, we got to go get groceries.
Yeah.
We spend $100 and, we're good for a week or whatever. But that's not the case anymore. You go there and you buy 4 things and it's $160. You're like, what did I get for this?
So outside of all of your costs just to live, like just to eat, you're looking at $1,500 for a family of 5.
Good Lord.
So and the USDA predicts 6.3% price increase in 2023.
That was last year.
That was last year, but so it's probably 20% this year.
Yeah.
But anyways, food alone just to survive is super. That's an expensive monthly cost that you have to do.
Yeah.
You can't really get around it. And then the other thing is you could lose your home if you can't keep paying your mortgage. Only so long are you able to stay in that place.
Yep.
The ability to travel. Just that mental health type of thing of getting out, doing trips and things like that. You can't do it. You don't have money to
right
do
now.
it.
Fuel is down from what it had been, but
It's way down,
there are times like you remember when it was like $4 or $5.
do,
You know what I mean? It's like you really thought about that too.
Yeah.
And that's always a possibility of coming back. Like it's just right around the corner.
So if you don't have a job to pay for it,
yeah,
you're going to burn through any small amount of funds you have.
Exactly.
And then the concern about losing your job and you have to deal with power issues, having lights on at home, having heat, water, taking a warm shower, all that stuff is affected.
Look, man, and the thing that I think about too that would almost hurt the most out of all this is when you have kids and they're kind of getting to that age where there's all this extracurricular stuff that they're doing and everything costs money. Like everything is expensive that they do. I would hate to like not have a job and it's like, I'm sorry.
And the other thing is they care more because they're friends. Like
they're all doing it.
My kids are getting more to that age and it's like, well, so-and-so's done this. Why don't we go on trips more? I was like,
I know, yeah.
So you try to like, you can't always be like, well, tough, we can't do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
You gotta live too.
Yeah, exactly. So, obviously that one's a huge risk and it can easily happen to anyone and a lot of problems come along with that. So some of the things that you can do to kind of prepare for this, and this is a lot of what we already do. We talked a ton about financial preparedness.
Yes.
It's always part of a plan. It's like you've got to get that like rainy day fund and then build on that. Like the emergency fund is huge because you never know when you're going to need to use cash. You don't know if a medical expense, all that. We'll talk about that too. But this is usable in all these scenarios. Like you need that 3 to 6 months of accessible funds. Not a lot of people do that nowadays. Like everybody lives paycheck to paycheck.
And it's so scary, man.
It's crazy how many people like the statistics are like what less than 50% can come up with $500 on the spot.
And I think again that's a great place to start. Start small. If you can get to $500, hey, you're doing better than 50% of people out there, right?
Crazy.
So at least start there before you do like any.
Because they say 3 to 6 months of all of your funds that you use to pay all your bills. That's a lot of money.
That's like 3 to 6 days.
Yeah.
$500. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but you need to have that.
You start there, start building. I think we have. We've gotten up to over 1,000 in available cash, but it's hard to do. But it's something that it'll make a huge difference for you that you can fall back on. Also, having money in your bank too. It's like,
Yeah. To me, that's probably
there's a
the
huge
most
cushion,
important.
and we have a fine line that when we go below that, we kind of freak out and we're like, let's
don't.
keep everything above.
Yeah.
You know,
I do not let it get below that line.
I don't. Yeah, and
You know?
we haven't gotten close. Like we kind of set it, fairly high, but it's like it's nice because you have that like. We've got to change some things because we're in this area that we've never been close to.
And everything that goes above that, you're like, oh, this is gravy, man.
It's 5 million, if you were wondering.
Yeah. It's just 5 million. It's not a big deal. It's definitely not that.
When we get a little close to that, we start cutting back. But the other thing is, you should be able to recognize some signs that your job is on the line.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've never like. And no offense to anybody that works here in the oil field, but I've seen people like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
they make a lot of money for the work that they do. And then you start seeing like jobs cutting people loose and they don't change their habits at all.
They go buy another side by side.
They have another side by side. They have a new trailer. They're going on trips. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
maybe consider that you
like,
could be
why don't you
next.
back off until you know for sure your job is safe? But a lot of them, and I'm not saying just oil field. Just like a lot of people do that.
That's just what we see here where we live, right?
Right. But there are typically signs that your job is, in jeopardy.
But you have to be paying attention to those to see them,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And so I just talked about too, like the food storage or the grocery list.
Yeah.
So adding little bits at a time to store away, because when you don't have to pay for food, there's $1,500.
Look, dude,
I'm not having to worry about.
I'm pretty sure I've told this story before too, but my dad is an oil field guy, and when it like died a few years ago,
it does.
He lived off of his food storage for like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. And that just like, it's such a
It's
good
a
lesson.
huge deal. I mean,
He's like, we didn't have
but
to buy
that's a huge
food.
thing for him.
He's
Yeah.
like, we didn't have to buy food. And not like he was fine because, he had saved money and like that wasn't a big deal, but they're like, we didn't have to buy food.
But it's a nice fallback to like,
Yeah.
you can build money back or not have to worry about an expense.
Exactly.
But we store food for the apocalypse, but in reality, like it's to fall back on, like, and that's why you have to have a variety of food storage. Like, at the first part, I was like, 25-year shelf life, and then COVID hit, and I was like, I need to be better with like the short shelf life stuff. So you really need to, like now, try to do better meal planning, buying in bulk, shopping at more affordable grocery stores to kind of build up this food supply too, and also get in a better habit of making the most of what you have.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Other things that are important, learning how to garden. Obviously, that's harder in the winter, but if you kind of have some skill with hydroponics, aeroponics, like I've been wanting to get into this. It's just a lot, but it would be kind of nice to have like some vegetables freshly grown in the garage or something.
Be sweet.
Other things to stock up on, toiletry, feminine products, treats, and stuff like that. So building onto that, like your whole home storage plan is super helpful in a scenario like this, because you're like, we're okay because, we don't have to go to the grocery store every day, and we can back off on doing that. We can save money here and there until it gives you that time to find some other employment.
Exactly.
And then other skills are always useful. Do you have a side job of woodworking? Teachers tend to have a lot of they have that 3 months that they're off, and a lot of them do these hobbies that could be useful in bringing in some extra income if you don't have a job. So learning these different skills could give you the ability to kind of work through until you can get a position or something in another workplace. And then network, a lot of people, like our church, for example, does network a lot to help people get jobs and how to fill out resumes and stuff like that. So neighbors and church and everything like that can really help you in these scenarios. And so it's good to have a good network set up that way.
I think that's great. Yeah, that's a huge one. Finances, job loss.
It's a scary one. It's one that I always thought, couldn't, but I'm like, it could definitely happen to me too. It's like,
it can happen to anybody.
Yep.
So it's definitely one of those big things you have to think about.
I'm out.
So, one of the next things, I read this statistic earlier this week. Americans spend about 11 hours a week in their cars. I mean, that's like a full work day.
It's crazy.
You're spending in your vehicle every single week. And there are car breakdowns, there's bad weather, there's wrecks, there's a whole host of other things that can happen while you are driving. And again, we talked about this in the Mad World, how this just happened right next to us. And it could have been me or Cam in there.
Yeah.
Like so easily, right? And so this is a huge reason that vehicle preps should be high on your list. And it's part of this your personal apocalypse thing, right? AAA said that battery failures, flat tires, and locked keys, those are the top 3 things that they respond to.
Yeah, I just replaced my battery 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's a great place to
I had
start.
to go get Tawny from Walmart because it died.
Oh, really?
So it's like, there you go.
Makes sense, yeah.
Part of that statistic. Awesome.
So I think, boy, those are great places to start if that's the things that are happening the most, right? Have a way to jump your battery. Again, if your battery dies, you're kind of in a bad way. But
Yeah, we got it started, but we had to replace it.
A lot of times your battery goes bad or it just dies. You leave a light on, whatever it is. Have some jumper cables. Have a battery jumper, like we've talked about a million times, those backup battery jumpers. Those things are invaluable. And you can get them for so cheap these days.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're spending hundreds of dollars on one of those things.
They
right?
were a little pricey when we were first looking, like the Gulu one and stuff.
Yeah. But now you like under $100 you can get one.
Timu's like $4.
Yeah, Timu for sure.
Start on fire while you're trying to start
a little Chinese kid will bring it right to your door from Timu. So
I have to make fun of Timu because my dad like buys so much
I've
trash from that
never
place.
bought anything
Don't
off
even
of
look at it.
It's not
You'll
good.
get friggin' ads till the end of time.
I'm sure. You know, in talking about having your car keys locked in your car, if you have one of those newer cars that has an app to lock and unlock it, it might be worth investing in that, whatever that is per year. You know, my truck has it, my wife's does, but you have to pay a certain amount. But you know how nice those things are if you like, I don't think you can actually lock your keys in your car anymore, can you?
I don't think
know.
you can either.
But you can start it. You can do a lot of different things. It's something to think about, right? Make sure that you have a spare tire. This is like so critical.
And then it's filled with air.
It has air in it and it's not dead. Yeah. And also make sure that you have tools to change it because that's another thing that people forget. And then also make sure you understand how to change it. Like it's a kind of a 3-part process there when you get a flat tire, you know, and the thing is like roadside assistance is great. Like, I think it's fantastic to have that. Like, I know that my wife could always call roadside assistance and they come change a tire and bring gas or whatever, but it's not like a replacement for these other preps, you know?
Yeah.
You still have to have these other things, but roadside assistance is great.
It is a big deal, though. Like, I had to change the brake pad on our car, and I brought 2 of my boys out because I'm like, just see how this is done.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you're young and you're not going to drive, but... And so they watched and I kind of showed them through it, and they're like, "Can we go in now?"
Yeah.
But I'm like, at least kind of get them started on
Sure.
seeing. Like, I don't want to have that, you know.
Yeah. Be super foreign to
I
them.
want them to know at least
Yeah.
how to do this. But
For sure, yeah. And then we go back to the car kits, right? These are so important, and honestly, I love working on car kits. I think it's one of my favorite things with prepping, right? So you should have one of those full emergency car kits. I think
working on my car kit.
yeah, I just out there working on. my
Honey, I'm
car.
going to go out work on the car kit.
Yep, it's my time right now. But it's a great place to start. You know, because you're going to use it so much. Some things to consider, and we've done a lot of these, but I'm going to do kind of a basic one here.
It is funny, though. That is kind of more of an exciting bag to put together. I don't know what it is.
I don't know why
the
it
gear,
is.
you're like, I need nicer gear, and you know.
Well, like it was so fun when I got my new truck. I'm like, oh man, now I can.
The bug out's gotten a little old.
Yeah, exactly. But you can go in and
But it's
start
there and ready.
in all those little compartments. Put the stuff you want. And dude, I love it. It's so much fun for me. Number 1, warm clothes and blankets. I guarantee you, not everybody of those 270 vehicles that got stranded on Strawberry had that, and they were freaking out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like I was talking with a guy I work with.
Didn't have much in them.
And like people are just like, well, I don't need to take a coat or anything. I've got the truck. I'll keep it running.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful.
We always tell our kids when they're like, they don't have shoes on, they're going to grandma's. I'm like, if you have to walk, like you need to have like good winter
or
wear.
a jacket.
Like,
it's like, I'm just going from the car in the school. I don't need a jacket. I don't want anybody to know I own a jacket.
Yeah. And put on this bug out bag too.
Yeah, exactly. And this gas mask.
Carry this gun.
Carry this 5.56. I'm just going to basketball
I'm going to the gas
practice.
station to get a drink. Well, can't be too prepared.
Yeah, warm clothes, blankets, so important. Food and water, again, that's a great thing to have in there. Water can be tricky because it can freeze. That's why I do like the little small pouches of water because they'll withstand the weather, hot, cold, all that stuff. That's what they're made for. Tools, a basic toolkit. You have to have it in every vehicle. It's just a must-have. first aid kit. How important is this? I can't tell you. I use my truck first aid kit like a million times a month.
Same here.
You have everyday boo-boos.
I actually think mine's out of Band-Aids as is.
Exactly.
I need to put some more in there.
You use it just for like everyday stuff, but you never know when you're going to come up on an accident or be in an accident and need that stuff. Super important. Road flares.
I think I still Tylenol or ibuprofen out of it like once a month too.
Yeah, exactly. I steal mine from work and then put them in there sometimes. Don't listen to that, boss.
Your paychecks is like big old chunk out of there. We're just making up raw
ibuprofen. What's this? $600. Yeah. Roadside flares, cones, or lights for in case you get, stuck on the side of the road. You got to do something there. Flashlights and headlamps. Headlamps are so great for a vehicle. You can just throw them on if you have to work on a flat tire.
Now you're going to need a trailer to drive with all this stuff in there.
I know, yeah.
That's what everybody comments.
People were just so mad at that last list we did.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Pull an RV with all this stuff in it? It's like, yeah.
And buy a fifth wheel, carry all your gear?
A horse trailer, maybe? No, it's really not that much.
It really isn't that much.
It's not that much. Tow strap. Got to have a tow strap in case you need towed or tow somebody. A gas can is a great thing to have in there. Obviously, you don't want something
Step your toe
in
your tow strap.
You got to call a tow truck. Yeah. Gas can in case you run out of fuel and you got to go get some is great. Small shovel, like those little folding shovels.
Yeah.
Great to have.
That new one that we got, I think we've had
the
had
Humvee
two
one?
of them. Yeah, I have two of them. They are awesome.
They are great. Car
Dug a
escape
grave
tool.
just the other day.
Car escape tool. Everybody should have one within arm's length of the driver's
seatbelt cutter
side.
and a window. Yep, I have one in both my vehicles.
Cam's prepped.
It's actually how I get out of the car usually.
I break a window every morning. I cut the
seatbelt right off every time.
Funny thing was, I was on a work trip to Colorado this week. There was like 5 of us in this truck. We barely fit right
on one seatbelt.
No, on the last 5 miles, the guy's seatbelt just fell right out. Like the buckle came right out. And I'm like, well, I'm glad we didn't get in a wreck, buddy. So car maintenance is also a thing you need to keep up on.
Or recalls. That's another thing because they're like, 2 of our vehicles had seatbelt recalls.
Oh, yeah.
I never took them in.
My truck has like an airbag recall. I got to get to
Does
Toyota,
it really?
But I got to get it to Salt Lake to get it fixed. So it's a pain in the butt. Maps. Hard paper maps. They don't have to be hard, but soft paper maps are fine too. You just
I print mine on a piece of sheet steel.
sheet steel. I put it on sheet steel. Sheet steel map.
I work in construction. Yeah. That's good sheet steel.
A plywood. I got a piece of plywood that I printed all the maps
piece of sheet metal.
Yeah. That's great. I knew you were going after. USB battery backup charger. Have one in your vehicle, man.
Oh, I have like 50 of them.
Cam has 50.
I do.
One's plenty, but 50 is great.
Yeah.
Okay. A fire extinguisher.
Our car looks like a portable server
marketplace,
like a portable business server.
Yeah.
It's got like cords everywhere and battery backups
for sure. Fire extinguisher. Vehicle fires happen. That's not just in the movies. Those things really do happen. Washer fluid. How important is that in the freaking winter? Oh my gosh!
My washer fluid's on right now.
Oh my gosh! How many times have you ran out and so
my light's on?
You get a chunk of snow and hold it out the window and rub your window as you're driving.
Oh yeah,
I've done it.
Or you're like, you don't want to scrape, so you're like,
yeah, and it's all gone.
You run it all out.
Yeah. Oil, some extra oil, just in case.
You gotta
keep everything lubed up. Wet wipes or toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
We've all been in that situation before. It's not fun when you have to cut up your socks or your underwear to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
It's not good. So if you have wet wipes, you have toilet paper or like Clean Freak wipes or
cut up your socks. It's true though.
Yeah, what do you do?
There's no better portable toilet paper than
we're all
socks.
wearing toilet paper on our feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just
get that toenail fungus in your butt crack.
That'll fix it up real good. It's a good hemorrhoid solution, I think.
Oh man.
Self-defense tools and weapons. You got to have your truck gun or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your truck nunchucks, whatever. You got to have something in there in case things
TRD
get loud.
nunchucks.
TRD Pro nunchucks. Yeah, and then rain gear. If you're in a rainy place, it don't rain here, but
seriously,
it rains other places.
We've made like a bunch of makeshift ponchos so many times with garbage bags
Yeah.
that now I carry those little Walmart dollar ponchos
that's great.
in the vehicle.
Great idea, Cameron.
Thank you.
I like that. Also, make sure that you have like updated insurance papers and registration. You know, that's so embarrassing when you get pulled over and you're like, I don't know where any of that crap's
Yeah.
at. Just understand where it's at, right? Just in case. Also, think about some skills.
I always
for-
feel like I'm going to get out of a ticket if I can give it to them faster.
Here it is. I used to think you're so dumb when I was
Crawling out the window.
When I was like young, I'd be like, anytime I got pulled over, I'd turn it on the country station. Like they think I'm a good old boy here in town, so I'd put it on the country station. You know what I mean?
I've thought about stuff like
It's
that.
so dumb. The crap you think
Turn
about.
on like classical music. Yes, officer.
I'm just listening to a conference talk. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's so dumb. But yeah, make sure you have that stuff ready.
Have a Cops DVD sitting in your passenger seat. I love the show. You guys do a lot of good work.
You got a Dare blanket that you put on you.
Dare sunglasses.
Dare sunglasses. Yeah, remember the sunglasses?
Hey, officer.
Hey, how you doing?
You changed my life in middle school.
Before you say anything, let me tell you
Listen,
how much.
you can give me a ticket, whatever you want, but I want to tell you saved my life.
I appreciate you. I was in a bad way with heroin for a while, but look, you guys changed my life.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Anyways, what were you going to tell me?
I swear that was 35 back there. I don't know. Have some skills like defensive driving. Learn how to drive off road.
Learn how to drive.
Learn how to drive.
Period.
It's a great one. Start
Utah.
out knowing how to drive. Know some first aid stuff, some situational awareness. All this will help you those 11 hours in your vehicle, right? Use apps. Like, I don't know why people don't do this more. Like road condition apps, weather apps, and stuff like
Utah,
that.
Yeah.
You know?
I use the Utah dot, whatever.
Yeah, the
Because
DOT one.
it has all the cameras and everything
Yeah, you
along
can go
the way.
see what everything looks like instead of like putting it on Facebook for the 9 millionth time. Anybody been to Heber this week? Today I'm
I
gonna
don't.
go.
I'm like, we have the internet, bro. You
Yeah, I
just
know.
post it on there.
Open up the freaking.
Saw the polar bears. We good to go?
There's polar bears still on the road. I don't know what to do.
What mile marker was that at?
Yeah, and then again, like I talked about, make sure your upkeep is good, regular maintenance, all that kind of stuff. Making sure that you have that emergency fund to cover repairs when they're needed. You know what I mean?
That one sneaks up on you.
Your vehicle is so important to everything you do all the time. Like you
It
have to
is.
keep it
It's
running.
crazy.
You have to have a reliable vehicle. You have to keep it running. So just make sure that is all good and ready and wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. That's all
Like
I
we
got.
probably need a new one, Tawny.
Yeah, Tawny.
Probably need a new pickup.
Tawny.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
So another huge
Man.
out of the left field that can really screw you over is a serious medical condition,
Sure.
and maybe it isn't
Gum
a
disease
long term. Exactly.
in your dog.
Yeah. Spreads your kids,
Shred your tires.
and you got big problems.
Yeah.
But here's some costs for you.
I don't want to.
ER visit is
This is for you
on
Americans.
average.
It's for you Americans, not
Yeah.
you Canadians or the UKans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna poop your pants here
Yeah.
if you're not
Your
from the
britches.
US.
I don't know what the English call
Your pantaloons.
pantaloons.
I
Yeah.
don't know what they say. ER visit.
Yeah.
Average $2,200 just to walk in there.
I can confirm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can
exactly.
confirm.
An ambulance ride, $1,200. I thought it was more than that.
Ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Go grab my dad's truck. I'll ride in the back. Done it before.
Yeah, it's not great. Hospital stay, $3,000 a night.
One
that
star.
adds up.
Would not stay again.
Yeah, saved my life. 1 star.
Almost died there.
It's so
Was it
true.
their fault? I don't know. 1 star.
Got medicine, didn't taste good. 1 star.
Puked 4 times. Hate that place.
Went in puking, came out puking.
Yeah.
Life flight, $12,000 to $25,000.
Hey, get some good miles in there.
That is a lot.
Frequent flyer miles.
And just insurance premium,
Good Lord.
average $8,000 for a single person a year, $23,000 for a family.
I thought that was monthly.
It
Sounds
basically
about
is.
right. Yeah. It's a lot,
It's insane.
by the way.
So, healthcare in the U.S. is a disaster. Super expensive.
We got to do a full episode on surviving healthcare.
Seriously.
That disaster.
Seriously. The average funeral cost. So, let's say things don't turn out very good.
Yeah, the hospital stay did not go great.
$7,000 to $12,000. $7,000 to $12,000.
Is that just like to dig a hole and put you in a box?
That's what I'm
are
going to
they
tell them to
doing?
do. I'm going to tell my family,
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do. Storm me down next to the water.
Just float me down the river like Moses.
Seriously.
I'm good.
Just a piece of tissue now.
I know.
No soul in there. Just throw it in the
I don't
river.
even need a suit on. Why are we burying people in suits?
It's funny, like how much money we spend on.
Put me in my swim trunks.
dead body.
I'm fine.
It sounds pretty morbid, I know.
Yeah.
But listen, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, and then just the United States has one of the highest. I think it is the highest. I don't know why it says one of the highest costs of healthcare in the world. 2022 healthcare spending reached $4.5 trillion, which averages to $13,400 per person. Well spent.
Well, I probably use that much in ibuprofen a year.
I know. I did have something in here and like prescription meds and over the counter meds. How much we spend?
Sure.
We spend a lot. But see, it's not always just an emergency that's going to cost you. Yeah. New diagnosis, diabetes, hypertension, cancer, ortho injuries, like they cost a lot in the long run. And so it can be very devastating financially for a lot of these healthcare problems. So one thing that you can do that for like probably top of every list, every time I look up like some healthcare condition or like an ongoing problem, it's like prevention, exercise, and diet.
Good gracious.
Almost all of them.
Pretty much everything.
And and I know that's harder said than done, but it's crazy how many things are prevented with just exercise and diet. Like, so it's like
almost everything
the
in your
number
life.
one treatment to almost everything.
Exercise number one for sure.
And
like
and diet. And I've been poor
diet, for sure.
Been doing poor at both.
But we're gonna talk
Working
a little
better.
bit about that. We got a new
about
sponsor.
my poor.
No, we got a new sponsor. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
and it leads right into
that's
this.
Right. That's right.
Here. Yeah.
But so the thing is, if you do get diagnosed with these, like, do your research on the problem and how you can, maybe avoid medications. What lifestyle changes you can make to stay away from being basically I was going to say it one way that wouldn't be appropriate.
Sure.
Basically, just being controlled by your medical condition.
Look,
many
man,
people that their whole life is just controlled by a medical condition, and a lot of them, it's curable.
It is. Like I just naturally have high blood pressure. It's just like how my body works. It runs hot, I don't know what it is, but I have been able to control it mostly through exercise because I didn't exercise before and like it was high. I was like, oh frick. Yeah. They always wanted me to go on these meds for it. I'm like, I didn't really want to do that. And I've done it once in a while here and there. And then I'm like, oh, if I regularly exercise, it kind of keeps it down. Like
most medications are a cheat.
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
a crutch, So you definitely can avoid it.
Some of them aren't. They aren't.
Right. Yeah. Type 1, you don't need to take anything for that.
Like I've got some weird like heart things that I take a medication for and it really helps me. And it's mostly just it takes symptoms away of things that I can't get rid of. But sometimes you do need it.
Yeah. For sure. And so that's why like the thing that I push the hardest for people even at work, I'm just like understand what you have. Like understand it, like look into it. I don't care if, Google isn't the best place, but it's better than just saying, I'm going to take whatever you give me.
Yeah.
Like you really need to understand it clearly because when you do understand whatever health condition you're dealing with, you know how to either, prevent it from getting worse, know what medication alternatives there are, what's natural, what's not, and like what you should take and things like that. So really know a lot about that condition because it will save you in the long run. It really will.
Yeah, or even just knowing what pills you're taking. Because what if you got in a situation where you're in the ER and like, what do you take?
It's in the computer.
I take the blue and the yellow together in the morning and then the green at night.
Every day. It's so frustrating. They're like, well, I don't know, it's in the computer. And I'm like, what if I didn't have this? You'd be dead. And then spit in their face, tell them to get out.
Slap them. Get out of here.
And so let's say you do have one of those conditions that require meds.
Yeah.
You can, try to do whatever you can to stockpile those meds.
Yeah.
For one, understand what the med is and what alternatives there are. So if you're in a pinch and you have to use a different brand or a different type, like and understand.
Oil, is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. In pill form.
Pill form oil.
And then discuss with your doctor like how you can maximize the amount of pills. Obviously, certain meds you're not going to be able to do that, and you shouldn't. But like if you're a diabetic and you take metformin, like there's no reason why you couldn't get a 90-day supply.
Yeah.
Your insurance may say no, but it's cheap. So do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like pay the extra to have more on hand.
More on
hand, moron. And then, there's no problem in asking for samples if they're available. Like,
Sure.
I don't ever feel bad about that when people do that. I'm like, sure, like, if I have it, I'll give it to you. If not, then get out.
$1,000. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'll give you one pill, $10 a piece. Pay me right now. The other thing is, like, if you have children, you got to make sure and have, you need to, so I stress this a lot too. It's like, I see a lot of people through urgent care and all those things, and I'm just like understand how to take care of sicknesses on your own. We're not always going to be here.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me that, that they don't think about the basics. It's like a fever is okay. If they're throwing up for an hour, they're fine. If it's been going on for several days, obviously you need to go into the doctor, but they don't. They just like immediately like, something's wrong. Go see what's, go pay a bunch of money and figure it out. And it's usually viral.
Get everybody else sick in the waiting room.
Right.
Yeah.
Other things is like getting dosages and liquid medications for your kids, printing dosage charts, super helpful, because if you're in a pinch, you don't want to be paying money for something that you could simply do on your own.
Right.
And then other things is some medical conditions, they can be, where is it? Sorry, I got lost here. They can cost a ton.
Yeah.
And again, going back to that preventative medicine, like, it is good to exercise and all of that stuff, but the best treatment is prevention.
Yep.
So exercise and diet, meditation, hiking, do those things that kind of can help your mental health too. Like,
well, that's
every medical condition depression comes with it.
Yeah.
Because even like I got my blood drawn over like the break, and I was like, my cholesterol's kind of high, and I like went into this like slump. I'm like, I'm a piece of crap.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tony's like, you want to go and see a movie? I'm like, cholesterol's acting up.
I can't do it.
Cholesterol's acting up again. I gotta stay home.
I just probably go.
But it does. It affects you mentally because you're just like, my body's not in tip top shape.
Hate
and
my body.
I've done this to myself, and you get all pouty about it.
And then
but
you eat more chips.
I do, actually do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then also insurance, life insurance, like work sponsored insurance, like make sure you're taking advantage of those things too. It's like it's super expensive, but they have options that cover you for these medical expenses that are unexpected, short-term disability and things like that. So don't overlook those things that can protect you in case those things pop up.
Right.
And then, take care of yourself.
Do it. Yeah, mental
Stay
health
healthy.
is just as big as your physical
It's
health.
crazy
Like,
how much it controls everything.
just as big. So think about both of them. Yeah, and another thing, like one of these things that you cannot avoid. You can't avoid this. Weather, natural disasters, storms, Mother Nature.
Yeah.
She's a grouchy little bitch. She gonna get you at some point. Okay? She really is. Like,
she has been here for the last 2 weeks.
Man. She was chilling for a bit, but she came back with a vengeance. Every single year, there's thunderstorms, blizzards, floods, fires, earthquakes, hurricanes, heat waves.
She doesn't want us to live here on Earth.
She's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Get
My
off
house.
the surface.
Yeah. But in 2023, the U.S. experienced 28 separate weather and climate disasters costing at least $1 billion. $1 billion. That's just the ones that cost $1 billion, 28 of them. So depending on where you live or where we all live, this might be more or less important, but it's always something that you should be prepared for, right? Power outages, which Cam will talk a little bit more about later, damage to your homes, vehicles, injuries, transportation disruptions. We talked about that today. All this because of weather and storms, right? So again, being prepared here is super critical. You cannot avoid this. Everybody has to be prepared for this. Weather, it's all around the globe. Don't care where you live.
Yeah.
Weather is there.
Yeah.
Okay? Doesn't matter. So here's some basic things.
Especially if you live in like Tornado Alley.
Yep.
Or like on the coast. I'm
On
like,
Florida
it's
or
crazy.
Louisiana,
Like,
yeah.
you have to have a very extensive weather plan.
So, but for everybody, there are some things you can do to prepare for this. A prepper risk assessment, it's such a good place to start. It helps you to determine those things you should be preparing for. Really,
Is that
really
the handout for the neighbors?
Yes, that's the neighborhood security plan or something. I can't remember what that was. All your kits, like your 72-hour kits, your bug out bags, your vehicle kits, EDC kits, all these are super useful in any kind of weather or storm event. Communications are key for this as well. Emergency alert apps. I don't know why they should just come on your phone.
They should.
Right?
Honestly, they should.
I know sometimes they'll get annoying. Like I'll get like a winter weather warning like 10 times a day
Yeah.
sometimes. But
Earthquake and chilly.
like, what do I care?
I had those turned on. And I was like, gosh, dang it.
I know.
I was getting stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
No.
But it's super important to see that stuff. Weather apps can kind of do the same thing. Emergency radios, we talk about this all the time, but in an event where the power goes out, you can still get communications. You can still get information. Sign up for your local emergency management app or texts because those are hyper local. You're going to get all the information that you need specifically for your area. Super important. Again, keeping your phone charged to have backup power for it, critical. Absolutely critical. So make sure you have that in your home, in your car, wherever at work. And the last part of the comms is your family emergency plan. Now, it's a great way to prepare for these emergencies and have everybody in the family know what to do when these things happen. And then we get back to your home, right? Your home is where the heart is, I think. Where the hearty is.
Where the hearty is.
Yeah. Learn how to shut off your gas, your water, your electricity in case stuff gets weird. You know what I mean? Whatever storms come through, you got to know how to do that stuff.
Kids are acting weird. Shut off the gas.
I don't know. Someone has got diarrhea. I'm going to go turn off the water just in case. Make sure your insurance coverage is up to date, and it's reflecting your present
I
property
know they're
values.
charging me yearly. I don't know exactly what they
You're
cover.
getting something, but just make sure you know. And it's not a bad idea to every year compile an inventory of home contents, like take pictures and video, whatever you got to do.
I know with that insurance thing, there's a lot of holes in those. Like, that people are like, I didn't know I was 6,000 miles from a creek and I needed flood insurance.
Exactly. Yep. Check your chimneys, your roofs, your walls, your foundations all the time. I'm not like every day, but like, regularly. Make sure your house
should team up. You check mine, I'll check yours.
Okay. That's a great idea. I like that. I'm going to check Cam's chimney. And my wife's like, what? Is that a euphemism? No. I'm really going to check his chimney.
Kobe, what are you doing here? I'm checking stuff, chimney and
making sure your house is bolted to your foundation. I'm sure you haven't done it.
How's it draining? And how's your drainage
on your property? Secure your water heater, your major appliances, as well as any tall, heavy furniture, hanging plants, picture frames, mirrors, all that stuff. So just think about like if there is a weather event, if there's an earthquake or a hurricane or tornado, what do I need to do in my home? To get it ready.
It's crazy, like you said. It's we live in this day and age where we have like all these alerts ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people get stuck in storms. Still.
What storm?
Yeah.
Heck no. What?
Yeah.
What in the hell, Bobby? This is a blizzard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So with storms, probably the most common thing is power outage.
Gosh dang it.
Nobody wants power outage.
Nah.
It's crazy how much you rely upon it. As soon as it goes out, I flip the switch like 9 million times.
I'm using it right now. All these lights.
Yeah, guess what? This is
camera.
all coming through power.
Power.
Guess what? It's power.
Can't go for water unless you have power. Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
That could have been wrong, but I know it's close to
So between 2013 and 21, I think you put this in. I thought it was crazy. The average duration of power outage in the U.S. grew from approximately 3.5 hours, which is what I would have thought is pretty common, about 3 hours, maybe at the most, to more than 7 hours.
That's bonkers.
That's a long time without power. No
years,
children
it
cartoons
changed.
in the morning.
No, man.
You're going to go nuts. According to EIA data. The frequency of outages increased from 1.2 to 1.42 events per customer per year.
So it's getting worse.
And if you're in Texas, it's every other day.
You don't even have power. You're living in the Mad Max.
You're listening through this with a crank radio plugged into your phone.
Your wife is on like a bike in the corner running the battery.
I got to listen to the podcast.
I need to download this.
So, speaking of Texas, in February 2021, the state of Texas suffered a major power crisis. So I had friends there that told me that this was just outside of this place.
What?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Wow.
They all dead. They didn't make it through this.
No.
But they one I grew up close to, like on my neighborhood street.
Yeah, but did you ever check your chimney?
No.
Okay.
But he said it was pretty creepy at that time. And I know a lot of people, it's just like something that you wouldn't expect to happen in the greatest state in the United States.
Yeah.
Republic.
It's a republic.
That's true. Which came, so this was 3 severe winter storms sweeping across the United States, February 10th, 11th, 13th, 17th, and 15th.
Come on, that's one storm.
It's important. The storms triggered the worst energy infrastructure failure in Texas state history, leading to the shortages of water, food, and heat. More than 4.5
We're out of
million.
We're used up all the heat.
The heat tanks are out.
We didn't refill the heat tanks.
We need power to refill the heat tanks, everybody.
Gosh, dang it. Why didn't we think about this?
More than 4.5 million homes and businesses were left without power. That is a lot.
It's many.
Didn't even know that many people were down there.
Muy businesses.
At least 246 people were killed directly or indirectly. I don't know what that means. And some estimates as high as 702 were killed as a result of the crisis.
They don't know how many were killed. Could be
Somewhere
246.
between 1 and 700.
and 2.
And 2.
Yeah.
So obviously, power outages are much more likely to happen during extreme heat, extreme cold. You know, storms and stuff knock out things, and the heat tanks run out. It's the last thing you want. And so we've talked about blackouts, having like a blackout box where you have flashlights and everything kind of available to get to right away.
Yeah.
Because in the dark, searching around, super hard. You
really
want it
hard.
right under your bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that. So the blackout box, you know, it's a kit with like, you have some tools, lights. I think I have like a fire mask and fire gloves in mine, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
Power goes out, fire's turned on. So you never know. And then maybe something for comms or a battery charger for your phone or something like that. Also, you need to consider like other ways to both stay warm and cook food or stay cool, like some kind of fan. Generators are awesome, but people are dumb and they start fuel like a gas generator in their garage or something like that, and there's been
or in their bathroom.
A lot of deaths due to that.
While
so
they're taking a bath. Got to run my toaster in here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
how am I going to blow my hair? Got to charge up the hair dryer.
Feeling weird.
So, like portable generators are really nice. The battery generators.
Yes, they are.
I have them all. Like if I like just recently, I posted about that. Is I always make sure they're charged because they slowly kind of trickle down. You know, but I make sure they're all charged up before storms come because then you're like ready to go.
Yeah,
you can plug in a fan, you can plug in a toaster, whatever you like, and they don't give off any carbon monoxide, so you won't die.
It's beautiful,
which is awesome. The other thing is they charge solar power, so you don't even need another heat tank to figure that out.
Hang on.
The one that I have 2 of them, and one of them even has a max output of like 1,800 watts. So
wow,
pretty crazy. It's kind of nice though because it can kick on certain things that require a little bit more.
Right.
So on that cooking and staying warm, propane is awesome.
Propane is the best.
Propane is the best, but propane is awesome too.
Yeah.
I picked up another portable propane heater just because it's like, I feel like having 1 or 2 of those, you can isolate yourself to one room and stay warm. It's safe indoors. And also you can use those little canisters and refill them from the larger canisters to cook food. So it's perfect.
It's beautiful.
The other thing, like hand crank items, lights, radio, food prep, make sure all like you have those things just in case you can't recharge any of them. You still have a hand. So most of the time, and at least somebody in the family.
If you're an amputee, this won't be the best.
Somebody
should have 2 hands.
Somebody can crank it.
Use your toes. You gotta.
I gotta go over and crank John's radio again. I'll be back.
I'm gonna go give him a hand. I'm sorry. I got a buddy who's in double amputee.
That's true.
I can make laughs
true.
about it.
If you know someone, you're fine. You joke about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then when power's out, people get a little crazy. So looting and security, they know the systems are down, so you've got to like up your defenses that way and understand that you're a little more vulnerable.
You are.
And then sanitary items. Most of the time, your toilet's still flushing, doesn't need power. But if you can't find it, you're going to poop and pee all over the floor because it's dark.
You imagine a toilet that did have to have power to work. What is it going on?
I'm sure some rich people own them.
I know they do.
Yeah.
Like all those weird Japanese toilets.
Grinds up the poop. Makes it go down way better.
They don't even need a poop knife. Goes right down.
Anyway, that's a lot of stuff with power outages, which are, I mean, you're going to experience one in your life multiple times.
You know, and then we talk about your home there's so many things that could happen there, right? In 2021, national estimates for residential building fires and losses show that there were 353,500 fires.
Wow.
2,840 deaths and 11,400 injuries. So, like, fires, this is like a real thing that you need to get ready for, right? And some really basic preps can give you a lot of prevention and some help when things do happen. Fire extinguishers. Get a fire extinguisher, especially in the kitchen. That's where a lot of fires start, or like have a fire blanket and all that kind of stuff in there that you can
seriously
take down something right as it starts, right? You just get so panicked and there's a grease fire and you want to throw water on it or something. You know what I mean?
You do.
So like you have to just have stuff there to fix those things. They have those little spray fire extinguishers now that are just like a little bottle. Those are great to have around. We even have some of those like bombs.
Like fire extinguishers are great, but you got to be recharged and checked.
Yep.
So it's like they have a lot of other options.
You do. So think about that. Make sure your smoke alarms.
Just that body spiking at it.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
like knocks everything off.
Your smoke alarms are up to date. I have one I have to change that I've been
Me too.
Been thinking about changing.
I hate them.
And I keep forgetting. Make sure your batteries are changed out and fresh. Make sure that your emergency plan spells out like how to get out of the house for the kids or what to do.
This way.
Out.
Put an exit sign like glowing.
Exactly. Make sure you have a first aid kit, and make sure that first aid kit has a burn kit, because burns are nasty, dude, and they hurt so bad. And if you have the right stuff, it can really help, right?
Right stuff.
Baby. Now all I can think of is New Kids on the Block.
No, those burn kits are
yes.
nice.
We got some burn kits from like a battle box a while ago, and those things are fantastic.
They make a big difference. Like
they do.
The pain control and everything.
A fireproof safe is something great to have for those important documents or photos or whatever. Don't look at
I
me
got
like
those
that.
photos in
Don't
there.
look at me like that. I'll come check your chimney.
It's the only thing in the fire safe.
Just a bunch of nudie funny.
I did save those one pictures.
Yeah. Electrical is another big reason for home fires. So make sure that you don't have just like sparking electrical wires hanging out everywhere. It's bad. It's a bad thing. That's another
Fluorescent
Seinfeld.
lights just hanging down.
It's like another Seinfeld episode. Anyways, also understand basic home repairs. This can save you time, money, and headaches, and it keeps your home safer. Kind of. Sometimes headaches might be much worse, actually.
Seriously,
but just keep up on that kind of stuff. Regular home maintenance, your furnace filters, you clean out your gutters, you clean out your dryer vent. I got to do that, man. I don't know if I've ever done that.
My gutters, I need to do.
Yeah. Drainage on your property. There's trees around the property. Make sure the branches are cut, all that kind of stuff. And then again, make sure your kids know what to do in case of a fire.
Yeah.
And how
I've
to
talked
call
to like
911.
my son. I have one kid that sleeps in the basement. He's the bad kid.
Yeah, we don't let him upstairs.
But yeah, I was like explaining to him, I'm like, if you hear the fire alarms, honestly, just open this window and crawl out the window.
Just go right out.
Just wait for us to come out there,
Yep.
or don't.
Yeah.
If we're not coming out, then we're not coming out.
We're not coming out. Go to the neighbors.
But yeah, I'm like, you do have to go through those plans.
You do.
So this one, I mean, we live in this day and age where we've got to worry about cyber attacks.
Yeah, you do.
But this is more like personal cyber attacks. Like just this year, let me give you Sir Cameron Hardy statistics 2023.
Oh, I can't wait.
I had 3 cards that I had to close and have reissued because of fraudulent charges.
We had
3
2
of them.
We had 2.
And 2 of them were my wife, and I blocked her and got new cards.
And we're pretty careful.
Yeah.
And it still happens.
It's crazy how like if it's saved in a browser somewhere, it's probably going to get picked up and used. So yeah, that's pretty frustrating. That's the most I've ever had. So it's getting worse.
Yep.
Cyber attacks have been rated the 5th top rated risk in 2020. 5th. It's probably a little higher now.
Above polar bears.
Yeah.
Wow.
Easily.
Yeah, wow.
The new norm across public and private sectors. Privates.
It's in the private sector.
The risky industry
I got
continues to
attacked in
grow
my
in
private
2024. I lost my info in the private sector. But yeah, so it's just getting worse and worse. Your information is available. So nice to have your browser remember your credit card number.
So nice, it really
It's like,
is.
oh, that took no time at all. And so does that Russian say, it take no time at all.
Yes.
Near-
Order again from Timu. There's some good
Yeah,
stuff for you.
exactly. Nearly 1 billion emails were exposed in a single year, affecting 1 in 5 internet users.
1 billion.
That's a lot.
That's how many spam emails
That's
I
how-
get in a month.
Exactly. Easily. I was going to say the same thing. Data breaches cost businesses an average of $4.35 million.
Gosh.
Around 236 million ransomware attacks occurred globally in the first half of 22. That's probably
gracious.
double.
Yep.
39% of UK businesses reported suffering a cyber attack in 2022.
That's not good.
39.
They got
I
my
got Australian
they
there.
got my private sector. Huh?
Oh, man. I would do it, but I'm not feeling the British
Not
today.
feeling the British.
We've been watching Downton Abbey,
Oh, have you?
and I'm like,
That
Tony, make
sounds
it.
horrible.
It's actually good. I like it.
I watched 2 episodes and fell asleep in both.
It's weird. I got sucked into it. Those British, they know how to act.
They do.
They know how to act.
Yeah. But that one's actually it's not in 25 frames a second, I don't think. I think it's regular.
It does look regular.
Yeah.
I'm starting to pick up on that. more.
Regular,
That
I mean
you told me.
American.
Yeah. They wear weird clothes. and they talk
23.976
weird,
frames
but
a
everything
second.
else is normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could easily be in big trouble with the cybercrime. Take your identity, take your money, take your nude photos. You don't want any of that. To
I
happen.
don't want to take it.
Identity theft is a big deal.
Yeah.
So some of the things you can do to prevent: back up, have all of your stuff stored on a non-internet cloud-based drive.
It's a great idea.
So
I got to do it.
Yep.
Haven't done it yet.
I do it too much. I'm like obsessed with it. I'm
Are
like,
ya?
gotta back up again.
Yeah.
And with that, there's a whole, storing one drive at home and then probably somewhere else, like your house. I got one buried under your
I
house.
got one in my chimney.
Yeah, exactly. Check your bank accounts regularly. That's one thing that's hard to do because
I do mine
it's
all the
somewhat
time.
depressing,
Yeah.
but like,
Honestly, I almost look at mine almost every day.
do you?
Yeah. I'm kind of obsessive with it.
I do several times a week, but I'm like, I should be checking it every day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because again, like
The Russians are.
I've caught this, and I asked my wife, "Did you buy this thing?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh,
That's the thing is
You got
like,
my
or a
friggin-
subscription that comes through and you're
Yeah.
like, I thought I canceled that.
yeah, for sure."
So you definitely should be checking more often. And do credit reports regularly. I mean,
Yeah.
you usually get a free, at least a free one through a lot of different services.
Yeah.
And then yearly. Use a monitoring system like I did for a while. I should get another one, obviously. 3 cards that had to be reissued.
Yeah,
The bank luckily picked up on all these, which
Yeah.
was nice. And they're really good
They're getting
at that.
better at that.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
But it's not a bad idea to have some software.
Sure.
It's kind of scary putting in your cards to a
Yeah.
company that's monitoring it. So however comfortable you feel with that. But Surfshark does offer some of those too, and they'll send out an alert if your email's compromised,
Yep.
if your bank has some suspicious activity. I see 10 charges from Surfshark. Was that you? No, that was
100%.
you. And then like Identity Force, LifeLock, like there's a lot of different ones you
Yep.
can do. And then another thing is maybe an RFID
Yeah.
wallet or one of those what's the bags that we get?
Well, there's a couple of them like Silent
Silent Pocket. Silent
yeah.
Pocket. Like those things, I mean, they seem like overkill for like, obsessed preppers, but honestly, like people have these RFID things
Yeah.
all the time. And even like gas pumps are freaky. Those little
for sure.
those little
Scanners. That
scanners, they
look.
look totally real. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways,
That's good stuff.
but that's a huge risk that we overlook because it's not food and water and all
Yep.
that stuff, but it could easily just
Mess you up.
mess you up big time.
Cam, we talked about a lot today about health, and that is such like a huge thing for us as preppers, right?
It's always a New Year resolution for everybody,
Always.
isn't it?
And,
Should
and
be.
that's the thing, like resolving to eat healthier, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Actually doing it, not so easy. It's like it's very, very hard. But, better nutrition is key to health and longevity and preparedness. We've talked about it so many times today. And a healthy diet could even help you avoid health risks that run in your family. Something that you can't do anything about, right? Field of Greens is our healthy superfruit and vegetable habit. Cam and I have been doing this now for weeks, right? It's the only fruit and vegetable product that literally promises better health. At your next checkup, your doctor will notice your improved health or you get your money back.
Your blood's green.
What is this? No, but like you will literally get your money back if he's not saying
That's
you
insane.
look better, which is crazy.
It makes a lot of sense.
The other vitamin and green drinks don't promise that, and that's why we really love Field of Greens. Each superfruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was doctor selected for a specific health benefit. Some support your heart, some support your lungs, some support your kidneys, others support metabolism for healthy energy and weight loss. Look, I've been on Field of Greens for about 2.5 weeks now, I
Same.
think. I really, like, genuinely, guys, I'm not just saying this because they're a new sponsor. I feel better when I'm on it. And it's kind of hard to explain, like, what I'm feeling.
Explain.
It's just like an overall feeling of general health. Like, you feel better.
And you also feel like you're doing something.
You feel like you're doing something. And I have noticed, like, a lot of times, when I'm drinking this crap, I'll get, like, a crash. But when I'm drinking this, like, that 2 to 3 to 4 p.m. crash that you get sometimes, I feel like I don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. You've been taking it too, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man. Look, if you
And it
resolve,
doesn't taste like grass that you just cut.
dude, the strawberry lemonade is so good.
Yeah.
And I have this is the lemon lime. I keep this one at work, and I've loved this one too. And you can mix it with water. And I've been mixing it with juice too.
Yeah, it's one of the few like types of things you can just mix with water because it tastes good enough.
Because it does taste good, yeah. We got you guys 15% off your first order and free rush shipping, so it's going to come quick.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome.
That shipping's huge.
I know. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code Casual Preppers. That's promo code Casual Preppers at fieldofgreens.com. Again, guys, your body is your number one preparedness item. There's no
That's so
preparedness
true.
item that is more important. So keep it running smoothly, and this is a really easy way to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at keeping a diet and like
I
eating
am
stuff
too.
I should.
And just on that, like, I love fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
But my body hates them.
My body
I
does
get so
too,
much
yeah.
gas and crap
Yeah.
with them. So this makes it nice to add those greens and those fruits without that
And
aftermath.
it's like 60 seconds and you're done.
Yeah.
You've got what you need. And
Yeah.
it's like all organic.
I also love that
stuff.
it uses stevia and not like
Not sugar
sucralose
or
and all that
sucralose.
crap.
Yep, exactly. So,
So-
go check them out.
worth it.
fieldofgreens.com. Use our code Casual
I feel like
Preppers.
$1 million.
Heck yeah. So let's talk about self-defense, Cam. Every single day people
556, next section.
people are mugged, they're attacked, they're assaulted. It's a very real threat that you need to be aware of and you need to prepare for. You know, this could be something like an incident at the grocery store or like a gas station or something. It could be road rage. How many road rage videos do you see all the time? People
All
just
the
going
time.
nuts. Domestic violence happens frequently, home invasions, or even like having to step in and protect a loved one, a friend, or just a random stranger on the street. Like this stuff happens all of the time. The thing is, you're responsible for your own protection, you know, as well as your family. Especially if you're, you know, a husband and a father. The police are here; they're there to help, but they're not always there. You have to call them to get them in. So there are several things that you need to consider when it comes down to self-defense. Number one is hand-to-hand fighting. Like this is like most of the time the situation you're going to be in. It's not always where
A weapon, somebody's pointing a gun at you.
yeah, or somebody's got a knife or a bat or nunchucks or a bow staff or size or it's a turtle coming at you. You know what I mean? Most of the time it's just mano y mano, right? So obviously,
I hate mono.
number one, we always advocate don't get in a fight. Walk away, run away, drive away, do whatever you can. It's not worth it. But there are some times where you cannot avoid it, and you're there, and you've got to do something. So if you can't avoid it, you just have to be really careful because, look, man, you don't know how crazy this other person is, for one thing. You don't know if they do train some sort of martial arts and they just look like a small, scrawny whatever, right?
I'm more concerned about the diseases.
Exactly.
they
I
have.
always thought about that. Like, what if I punch somebody, I
cut your
crack
knuckle
open my
and you cut
knuckle,
their face.
and now I've got Hep C or
exactly.
whatever. I've got
No, it's a
AIDS,
real deal, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to think about that. Or you hit them, they hit their head, and they die. Like, you don't want to go through that, right?
True.
So there's things you avoid it if you can, but there might be a time where you got to use what God gave you to get in there and make things happen. Yeah, them guns right here, right? So everybody should know some basic self-defense. This is it's critical that you have at least some basic stuff. Look, you can go take like a basic self-defense class, you can watch videos, but I can tell you from experience that is wholly inadequate. Like you can kind of get some basics there, but you've got to have like a regular training schedule of some sort to really know what's going on. Like I can attest to that. And whatever that's going to be, you just need to do it frequently. Whether it's boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga, I don't care what it is. Do something, understand it in some way, shape, or form, and be ready to defend yourself with like some basic self-defense skills. Because you just don't know what you're going to run into. You don't know what the other person knows. It's insane. So think about that. And then you go to the weapons
I
side
like
of
that
it.
you put it that way too. Like the weapons come next.
Yes,
Like a lot of people
next.
go right to the weapon first.
Right.
Like, you're not going to always have a weapon.
You're not
ready.
always going to.
Some people are.
And even
but-
if I have a weapon, I don't want to pull it out.
Exactly.
Right? Like I just don't. Like it's my last resort, and I get it. It's there and it's important, but I think weapons is second for me. And you don't know what that is. It could be a knife, a bat, a club, a gun, whatever that is. You know, all of us that carry EDC knives, you kind of always have that little bit of extra thing there. It's not the greatest, it's not like a fighting weapon, but it is a sharp thing that I could poke
I have a
somebody with.
stethoscope lasso.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, no, you just put that stethoscope on them and yell real loud.
That's exactly right.
That's
I'm going to find a problem with your heart. Watch out.
Oh, hey, your fraction's not great here, buddy. I don't know. You got something to go on. But yeah, that EDC knife, you always have that with you. Many people carry it.
Seriously, though, that thing, the end of that
Probably
stethoscope,
hurt, man.
you can whack somebody.
Whack somebody good. A lot of people carry a firearm every single day. Obviously, that is the tip-top pinnacle of self-defense. But again, if you're doing it at that level, you need to train regularly.
Exactly.
You need to know what you need to know, and you need to know how to use it and all that stuff. So don't just be carrying it around if you shoot every October for fun, right?
So true.
You have to do it frequently. Again, home invasions are something that kind of lands in this category as well. 847,522 burglaries were reported to the FBI in 2022.
Hamburglaries.
Yeah. You got that.
You didn't add those in there.
I did not, and I apologize
Probably
for
another
that.
50,000
I will be
hamburglars.
more thorough next time. Be prepared for this with the previously mentioned self-defense tactics, but you can also have a home security system. Scary dog. What do you laugh
That's
at?
in the apocalypse, I'm going to steal ham radios.
Oh,
Call
heck
me the
yeah.
hamburglar.
Yeah, hamburglar. That's right. It's a good idea. But anyways, self-defense, think about it because it's important. It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Think about
I've
it.
been overlooking it and putting it aside for years on and end. So
Well, most people
I'm
do.
going to die.
Most people do.
I'm just relying on you. Go get him.
I can't always be there, buddy. I'm not the best person.
Don't punch. Don't punch me.
I'm not the best person to rely on either. Unless they can start on their back on the ground. You know.
So, and this probably should have been a little further up, but I mean, we're not doing it in order.
No.
So, water situation.
Yeah.
We all I think it gets overlooked pretty easily because, I mean, we have a great water system.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We have drinkable, potable, non-potable water, whatever my dad
Whichever
prefers.
one is what.
So, and it's always there. It's readily available. You can take baths, you can drink it and
Got
water
that
your lawn,
beautiful,
all that
beautiful fluoride spiked water.
stuff. Exactly. Yeah. Wait, what's wrong with that?
I don't know.
It's great.
I don't know.
So, our system, chronic investment has left water infrastructure outdated and on the verge of collapse in many places across the country.
That
Like,
sounds nice.
we don't know this. Like, I'm telling you right now, like looking at articles and researching, like our system is just kind of, it works. It's been that way for 40, 50, 60 years. And the system, isn't going to always be good.
Dude, that's always it's
That's
similar,
what's happening with like Flint, Michigan, all
Yeah.
that's like these systems are all starting to fall apart.
It's similar to like the power grid too.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
we
great
haven't
either.
like put a lot into it because it's one of those things that works well, and we've just ignored it forever.
Yeah.
Hundreds of cities use 50-plus-year-old water systems.
Oh, nice.
And so breakdown of pipes, and I mean they're weaker. There's contamination from above the ground chemicals and sprays and seawater. Even if you're living on the coast, like they're trickling in and contaminating. And don't always rely on your government to tell you that that's happening.
Because they don't care.
Because by the time they push the boil order, you've been poisoned for probably 6 months.
You should have been boiling in February. I know that it's June,
Yeah. So,
but we're telling you now.
but yeah, and you've seen this like in tons of places. Buffalo, New York, just from to
Like the wings?
They say Buffalo.
I heard something weird there.
Buffalo, New York,
Buffalo.
severe blizzard. You know, something you wouldn't think would affect your water system, but
Sure, yeah.
it led to power failure, the water treatment plant failure, and then there was a water crisis.
Good gracious.
Flint, Michigan's been poisoned for like 100 years.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody gets hydrated there. What do they do?
Either. There's still problems. It's
Yeah.
like crazy. But lead contamination, bacteria, all that stuff. And this, I mean, this is one city in hundreds that have problems that we just haven't seen enough of. Simple earthquake's going to split it all in half. So you really need to be prepared with your own water. Like ready to go water, like stored safely in your home. And I don't care if you're storing it in your orange juice bottle. It's always, don't use that because
Clean it out.
it's still water.
Yeah.
It's still water. You can boil it. You can use it for other things. Start storing it that way. Start getting you some 55-gallon drums or 5-gallon drums. You need to have backup water.
I really love those 5-gallon ones.
I do too.
I love them.
I wish all the stackable ones weren't so expensive.
I know.
Because they're so, it's like the perfect way to store.
I bought 2 of the 5-gallon military ones on Facebook
Oh, yeah.
Marketplace.
The ones
a
that are
couple
all
years ago.
the green or
Mhm.
the
super
super durable
tan
ones.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they look cool.
They do. They look rad.
So it's like, I don't drink it.
Sometimes I just put it in the back
Is
of
that
the
a jerry
truck.
can full of gas? Nah, it's water.
Add water. Have a drink.
The other thing is have
Awesome
multiple ways for your water.
Yeah.
If you still have running water, it's awesome, and you don't know. I mean, you can boil it, you can filter it.
Your water running? Better catch it.
Filling up your water, Bob. It's a stupid prepper joke. And a water bob is a nice thing to have.
Oh, sure,
Collecting
yeah.
your water if it's still running. We saw that kind of in the movie we just
Yeah, leave the
talked
world
about.
behind. Yeah.
He didn't have the
bob.
official bob, but he filled his bathtub. It was
Yeah.
great.
Sucking all that hair up and
Exactly.
it always grosses
Filling
me
a
out.
bathtub in a house you don't even own.
Oh gosh, just put
I don't
the
know
straw
what's
in there
been
and
going
drink.
on.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
And then, so really, you need to focus on starting your water supply now.
Yes.
Building on it and everything, because that is going to kill you fastest.
3 days.
It's once that's out, once you can't get water, once the stores are cleaned out, you're screwed.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so in any way, start working on your water supply. That's something that I've kind of built, and I have a pretty good. I mean, and again, you're looking at 1 gallon per day per person. So
Right.
I've got 2 55 gallons. I still feel I need to have more. I'd like to have a good plan for a month plus.
I only have 155-gallon, and I'm I just don't have anywhere else
It's
to put
super
it.
hard to put it anywhere.
It's so
you know
hard,
what I mean?
man.
So
I was
anyway,
thinking of my wife would let me put it in our bedroom, and she said no.
but it's hard. Third world countries, they kind of understand this better. That it's how to, and we live in a country that it's been a comfortable, it's an invisible system that we're it works great.
Yeah.
And it's really not that safe. It's pretty fragile. So.
It is, man. Everything is fragile. In today's unpredictable world, being prepared for unexpected health challenges is more crucial than ever. That's why we are so glad we discovered Contingency Medical. Imagine a health crisis strikes. The usual channels for medications are disrupted. Does this sound familiar, Cameron?
It does.
It does. That's where Contingency Medical saves the day by providing you access to emergency packs of antibiotics for ordinary ailments like urinary tract infections, ear infections, strep throat, and more. We're talking
Venereal.
about Yep. We're talking about common antibiotics that treat hundreds of additional infections. Contingency Medical even has a symptom management medicines for everything from nausea to diarrhea to motion sickness, ensuring you're up to the task, even if you're not feeling your best. Cam and I both went through the process of ordering our Ready Pack Pluses, and it was so easy, so simple. I'm a dummy. I got through it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I have it now, and I have it at home, and I can't tell you how good I feel having that sucker there. It is such...
Yeah.
like an insurance policy. I just freaking
Because
love
it's I work in medicine. I could get these medicines, but
Right.
I too am prepared with them because that system's gonna it's gonna be in trouble fast.
You never know if it's a split-second thing that happens and you can't just go get them. But Contingency Medical also provides access to board-certified physicians for guidance on safe and effective treatment. Plus, your prescriptions are shipped from licensed pharmacies, so you know you're receiving quality care from start to finish. And get this, Contingency Medical offers free shipping on all packs, so there's no reason to delay. Now is the time to prioritize preparedness, you guys. Don't wait. Go to contingencymedical.com/CPP and enter promo code CPP. You're going to get $20 off your pack. That's a good deal, man.
Such an exciting sponsor.
That's $20 off any pack at contingencymedical.com/CPP. Use our code CPP.
Yeah.
Get it done, guys.
Seriously, that's it's such a good deal.
One of the
You're not going to
greatest
get a
preps I
bottle
own.
that's give to llama 4 times a day.
No.
That's what's so nice about it.
Yeah, this is a llama suppository. Good luck.
Okay to eat.
Chew it with
You know you're getting good
with
stuff.
juice. Anyways. We all like to go hiking and camping.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm lying. We don't all like to do that, but many of us do. And because of that, there are times when you might get lost. turned around. I think everybody's kind of maybe been in that position a little bit, right? I know I have before.
On the way here.
Yeah, yeah.
got
Almost
lost.
made it here without having to call me, but we got him here. We actually did a full episode on this, like I think it was 6,000 years ago. It was called Unexpected Wilderness Survival.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Some tips to think about before you do a hike or you go camping. Tell someone where you're going.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
so simple.
I can't believe how many people get in trouble that way.
I know. It's
like,
I didn't even know he was gone.
I'm going to just up and go right after work to hike
Yeah.
a trail. It's like, let somebody know.
Tell somebody where you're going. You can even drop them a pin of where you're planning to go. It just really, really helps if you do.
Don't
get
say anything,
lost.
just drop a pin.
Just drop a pin. What is this?
Don't tell them what it's about.
Don't
just
tell
drop a pin.
Let them guess. It's fun to make people wonder sometimes. Okay. Make sure to keep your phone battery charged because that's a great way to keep in touch. Communications are very, very important. Check the weather beforehand. We've talked about this a billion times.
Just barely.
Yeah. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Okay. Take extra clothing and gear. So important. So stinking important. EDC pack is always great to have here because anytime I go on a hike, I throw on my EDC pack and I go because I know I have a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to have a knife, a phone, a watch. You're going to have some fire starter, some water and some extra food, a filtration device, some sort of a...
You can just hike right after work, just
I
like
know,
we said.
I know.
Drop me a pin.
Exactly. You're going to have a headlamp probably and some paracord. So anyways, it's really important to take some extra gear with you when you go. If you do get lost, think about STOP, S-T-O-P. So number one is stop. That's what the S stands for. As soon as you realize you're lost, stop. Stay calm, stay put. Panic is your greatest enemy here. You need to chill out, bro. The T is think. Go over in your mind how you got where you are. How did I get here? Where did I drop that pin? Let me look. You know what I mean? What landmarks should you be able to see? Don't move until you have a specific reason to take a step. That's the thing. People just like run off in a direction.
They're just like, oh.
I don't know.
Usually texting, looking down. And
Yeah. So you're just lost. And then the O is observe. Get out your compass or something to determine the directions based on where you're standing. Don't walk aimlessly. That's a horrible thing to think
O's
about.
for ovulation.
Yeah, ovulation. Ovulate on the trail. If you are on a trail, stay on it. Don't say, I know a better way back. Stay on the trail. Okay.
It seems, yeah.
Yeah. Don't think
It seems so dumb, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's where people...
I'm going to take a shortcut through this mountain lion infested hills. Okay.
I know that down's going to get me to the parking lot.
That's right. But again, like that is some things you can think about, right? Last resort, follow a drainage or a stream downhill because that'll usually get you somewhere, right? And then P is
I usually
plan.
P is P.
P is,
Create your own stream.
P is P. Take a P. You don't want a full bladder when you're
Which
lost.
way is it going? Follow it.
Follow your P. Great idea. Just keep
Wow, I
your wiener
butchered
out
this,
and pee
sorry.
as you walk. Based on your thinking and observations, come up with some possible plans.
P as you walk.
You don't want to waste time.
No. You
No,
don't.
it's time is critical here.
Clean your shoes off at the same time.
Anyways, that's if in case you get lost. when
Sorry,
you're
I butchered
camping.
that. I hope you got something from
You're
that.
all good there.
Interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing is just everyday survival
Mm-hmm.
just makes your life a lot easier.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you're not specifically preparing for anything.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, EDC gear just makes life way more.
Dude, it's one of
easy.
the most important aspects of prepping.
Yeah.
Is EDC.
So yeah, just simple things. You know, living is basically surviving. We're just surviving this world,
We're all
and we're
surviving.
surviving work.
Yeah.
We're surviving church. So having these things that kind of can make your life a lot more convenient and easy,
Yeah.
it's totally worth it. The knife, the Leatherman, stuff like that. Man, I use it all the time.
Yep.
I have people come to me at work constantly like, you got a screwdriver in your bag? I'm like, yeah, you used it last week.
Yep.
Get your own screwdriver.
Screw you.
But like little things like a keychain that has a small knife on it, use that one all the time to, open letters and stuff like that. Cut food half the time.
you get letters? I don't ever get a letter.
Yeah. Yeah. Dear Cameron,
Dear Cameron,
I enjoyed your podcast.
I want to hear more about this stethoscope weapon you're talking about. Can you please draw a
You
picture?
show me how you swing it.
Your stethoscope.
At what
Don't
speed
be
do you
disgusting.
swing? You can send pictures if you want.
Yes.
That's okay.
Signed sincerely, Charles Hepburn.
Left island, Elephant Island, Antarctica.
Antarctica, 844-117-2476.
Penguin Street, Penguin Street, 114, P.O. Box. Anyway,
Penguin Blood Avenue.
it's got squeaky there.
I know.
Flashlight, screwdriver, all that stuff. Super convenient just to have on hand in your car or whatever like that.
Hell yeah.
Like the everyday survival stuff. Yeah. It's just like you're just more prepared to get through another day.
You're right.
It's so much nicer.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that is our personal Apocalypse 2.0. Didn't have a lot on that. I just wanted to mention having just those small amounts of prepper gear and EDC gear. It really it's crazy how much it comes in handy.
It really does, man.
Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb. Just have that stuff.
Just add some stuff to your...
That's your personal Apocalypse 2.0, guys. Thank you so much for that. I do have to tell you about Element, though, before we go, Cam. If you didn't know, electrolyte deficiency or imbalances, they can cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, weakness, all bad things. Is people who want to be prepared and ready for anything, the last thing you need is something that will slow you down when you need to be ready the most. Like if you're lost in the woods, you want to be hydrated. You're peeing as you walk.
Cutting trails.
Cutting trails. Man, it's nuts. You need to be hydrated for that. That's why we at Casual Preppers have teamed up with Element. It is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. We think Element is perfect for bug-out bags and EDC kits because it contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio. That's 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, and all of those things are good for your body, if you didn't know, Cameron.
Good for your body.
Good for your body. Casual Preppers listeners can get a free Element sample pack when you make any purchase through our exclusive Casual Preppers link. That includes one packet of every flavor. That way you can try them all.
So good.
It's so good. They offer a no questions asked refunds on all orders. You don't even have to send it back. This offer may be claimed by first time and returning Element customers. Every time you buy it, use the code, use the link. You're going to get this free stuff.
That's a deal right there.
Head over to drinkelement.com/casualpreppers. Get your order and your free sample pack. That's drinklmnt.com/casualpreppers.
Hey, look, I don't know if you guys noticed, but look at our sponsors. You've got prepping gear with BattleBox.
Yes.
You've got antibiotics with Contingency Medical.
Yes.
You've got Element for your rehydration, and then we've got Field of Greens, man. You're like set.
You're totally set.
You just get one of each of these, and you'll survive anything.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
Speaking of BattleBox, we do have the latest BattleBox, and we want to take a look at it real quick. Mission 107. Boys and girls, the number one thing in the basic box is the nose slap 2-pack. This stuff is crazy.
Ba-bang.
Ba-bang. Slap your nose.
Slap you right in the nose.
It's like it's like smelling salts, but it's not like...
But it gives you a nosebleed, and you're stimulated for 7 hours.
Yeah, you can't sleep for 2 weeks, but it's worth it.
It's crazy. It's pretty potent.
Wakes you up,
but
dude.
it does wake you up.
I've been thinking about having this here and hitting it before the podcast.
I probably will get addicted if I start hitting it for waking up.
And then we have the Uberleben Tindar TP 3-pack. These are cool little fire starters from Uberleben. Yeah.
I was like, is this a puzzle? Looks like a puzzle.
What it looks like. And then we have the Wicked Wax 2-ounce kit.
Wicked Wax.
Wicked Wax. Wicked Wax. Yeah. Then we have the Exotech Free Keys Slim System. These are actually really nice key systems.
Yeah, these are awesome. They make it... I hate putting stuff on a key ring.
I usually give up and throw it in the backyard.
All my keys are spread all over the yard.
I hate it, man.
But yeah, these make it way
Then
nice.
in the advanced box, we have the Dead Fish Ulu.
I can't tell you how much I love dead fish stuff.
Dead fish is one of my favorite knife companies.
Half the cuttery in my house is dead fish now.
Yes, sir. Dead fish.
Cut a dead fish.
Then we go to the Pro Box. We have the Solo Stove Titan. These Solo stoves are beautiful. Yeah. They're nice. They work.
Yeah.
I love them.
It's crazy how far they've come. You remember some of the originals you had to put together, take you 7 hours and burn one stick.
I don't have 7 hours.
Solo stove's the best.
And then in the Pro Plus Knife of the Month, we have the Doug Mercadia Serbian Cleaver.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a cleaver from Serbia, apparently.
Oh, I want to see this.
It's a big old boy, and it does cleaver stuff.
Sure, it's from Serbia, not Serbian blade from Argentina.
Tennessee. Yeah, I don't know.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a big old boy. That will cleave something for sure. So anyways, use our code Casual Preppers. You're going to get a free knife. Probably not the cleaver, but you're going to get a knife that's pretty sweet. Right, Cam?
Leave it to Cleaver.
Leave it to cleaver. All right, anything else, Cameron?
No, that's it.
Happy 200, Cam.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome. Stay survived.